go ahead and kick this off. So my name is Dedric Polite. This is my wife, Krystal Polite. We are dialing in from our home in North Carolina. We appreciate y'all jumping on. Real quick background on us. I know a lot of you guys know us. Some of you may not. We are serial entrepreneurs. We're a couple. We build our businesses together. Our main goal is building generational wealth and teaching others how to build family businesses and generational wealth. We're really big into entrepreneurship. So we own numerous different types of businesses. We're really big into real estate, wholesaling, flipping houses, building rental properties, and all the above. I know Mr. Hatchett is in the real estate as well, but we're also big in diversification. So not just putting all of your eggs in one basket. So we have 8 different businesses right now. I know Mr. Hatchett has multiple different businesses. So we brought this series to you guys to really bring you options, especially with everything that's going on right now. You know, when you're speaking truth to power, you know, in this country, you don't want your income and your family's future to be dependent on someone else. So now is the time to take, you know, the bull by the horns and really take the leadership in establishing other ways that make money outside of traditional 9-to-5 jobs. So that's why we're excited to bring on our special guest. Did you want to add anything before I introduce our guest, honey?
No, you summed it up.
Okay, so our guest is Mr. Andre Hatchett. We actually met him last year in DC at an Earn Your Leisure event. We were very impressed with Andre. I'd actually been following him online for quite a bit of time before. I know he's done a lot of stuff with Dr. Boyce Watkins and educating people on financial independence. So Andre, to read a little bit of his bio, he's a notary. He's also a successful real estate investor. He's had a profitable notary business for over 10 years. So, you know, if you want to learn from someone who can teach you how to do this business profitably, he is the person to learn from. He has something called the Notary Business School and teaches financial freedom. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Andre Hatchett.
All right. Thank you guys for the great introduction. I appreciate it. And hello, everybody in the chat. I hope you're having a great day. I'm going to teach you guys a few things about the mobile notary industry, why I got into it. It's actually been closer to 15 years. It's actually been closer to 15 years. And even though, and I'm 38 now, so I started when I was in my early 20s and now in my late 30s. So this has been my most consistent business that I've ever had. I've had things that might have had bigger paydays or payoffs, but as far as entrepreneurship goes for me, it's been the most consistent business that I've ever had. And I would love to know where you guys are with your personal entrepreneurial journey as well. If you're new in the entrepreneurial world, long timer, you got something going well, but you want to add more income to your life. I would love to know where you're at. I'm going to share my screen and share my slides, and then we're going to come back later on and answer your questions. Dee, if you could let me know in a second if my screen is on point. Oh, I can't share my screen. If you guys want to make me the host for a second, I'll throw it back to you guys.
Yeah, we're going to make you the host.
Only a Zoom OG would know about that. Only a Zoom OG.
These days, we're all Zoom.
Basically, yeah.
Zoom.
Brand new to real estate journey. Good stuff. New. Wow. Okay.
All right, you should have the host capabilities now.
Okay, cool. Okay. Can anyone see in a couple of seconds? Should be able to see my screen.
It says you started sharing, but we see it's a blank screen right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it might take a second. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm in the middle of downtown Atlanta at my office, and there's a lot of activity going around, so it might take a couple of seconds, but I'm here. We're gonna get it right, so just bear with me a second. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna close my camera. That might help as well. Okay, but looking good now?
Still a blank screen. It says you're sharing. Oh, here it goes. Yep, I see it now. Or actually, no.
Okay. Cool. All right, let's try it again.
No, does it say how much can you make as a mobile notary? Slide.
Yep.
Okay, I think that's it.
Should say why you should start a mobile notary business.
Okay, yeah, we can see it now.
Cool. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. We're here to teach you and hopefully get your mind away from the current world right now. Even though it's important and we need to be involved, we also need a break. And I mean that, we need a break. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys learned something. And I'm here to give you guys a couple of practical tips that you can use to go out and make money within 45 days. Of course, you won't learn everything about the industry within our time frame here, but I want to give you something practical. So 2005, I started Priority Notary Inc. We are now a nationwide mobile notary service, so we conduct business in a bunch of states. My phone rings all the time. I knew this business was recession-proof when I started. I did not know it was pandemic-proof. So even via COVID-19, we actually have picked up, and we've had thousands of students since I started my online academy in 2015, and all the ones who I've been in contact with are doing really well too. Some of them have turned off their phones because they didn't want to go out, which is totally fine, but their phones are still ringing. So I haven't had a job in 10 years. I haven't had a job close to 11 years. So I've been totally full-time entrepreneur, self-employed for 10 plus years, and mainly because of this business. So this has been my most consistent business ever. It's very overlooked. I actually want to pause on that point right there. A lot of times we look for things that are sexy. We look for things that have a wow factor about it. If we tell people we're doing it, they have a wide open look in their eyes. And if you guys have ever seen the 30 for 30 documentary Broke, it's about, I believe it's mostly NFL players who went broke. And a quote in the documentary said, a lot of these guys want to be flashy instead of having a consistent, steady business. They want the restaurant, they want the nightclub because they want to be seen. Hey, look, if you're seen and making money, that's great, but never sleep on something that's overlooked. Overlooked stuff is where the money's at. When I first started in the industry, people didn't know what I was doing, and I actually got upset about it. But I was talking to a friend. He said, "Dre, man, you just made $800 in one day. Like, what do you care if people know what you're doing?" And I was like, "You're right. All right." So keep that in mind, please. Many of our students start making money within 45 days or less. You can be self-employed or be the middle person, meaning self-employed. My phone rings, I go out, I conduct the job. Middleman or middlewoman, my phone rings, I close the account, like real estate wholesaling. Then I find someone else to do the job for my company, I make a profit. So here are some tangible numbers. I had a friend notarize a power of attorney for a client I had in New York. I was in Atlanta, charged the client $125. My friend sent me $50. He made $75. And I did that from my phone and a computer. Everyone got me so far? If you have to let me know that I'm still clear, that'd be great as well.
You're good, loud and clear.
Okay, great, thanks. So how do you actually make money? This is important. Do not overcomplicate it. I am a simple guy. I just do simple stuff. I have simple friends. If we have to plan out where we're going out to eat for 15 minutes, I am not going, right? I just like simple stuff. So for me, what I got good at in life is I got good at maximizing simplicity. So if this is you in the chat box, type it in. A lot of people who have a high IQ, whether it be academic education, self-taught, people who are really smart, they think everything has to be overly complicated. If that's you, I want you to type it in. That's you. That's smart people.
1000%.
That's smart people. I'm not surprised. Smart people do this. And they think everything has to be a certain way maybe because the school had the chemistry and the math problems with and the science problems with numbers. First of all, why do science problems have numbers? Why do math problems have letters? I never got it, right? So I was never good at that stuff, but I knew that I was had gifts, but the school system, they didn't excel there. I had to get them out different ways. So if this is you, if you naturally complicate things, I need you to shut down your brain a little bit. You keep this thing simple, you win. All right, so here go the numbers. So power of attorney. So a power of attorney is when the principal, let's say me, for instance, Andre is the principal. My sister, Charlene, is the agent. I am giving her authority to make decisions over my well-being while I am not there. So the principal, me, my sister, the agent, Charlene, I am giving her authority to make decisions while I'm not there. If we have time later, I'm actually gonna go over an example of one with you guys as well. So on a low end, we charge $75, higher end $200. Why the price difference? So depending on the location, different people will pay you different amounts, right? So in New York City, the cheapest that I've charged for a power of attorney over the past, let's say 7 years, has probably been $125. Usually around that $150, $175 mark, right? And how come we get charged so much? Because we go to the client's location. So people who are gonna hire us, they're looking for their life to be more convenient rather than be inconvenienced. There's a certain segment of the population, and look, it might not be you, who would much rather pay $100 or $150 or $75 and have somebody come and meet them, rather than to go around to 4 or 5 different banks and saying, oh, no, we can't do that. Our notary's not in today. We are in a convenience business. That's why we could charge a premium for our service. And we are able to increase the amount we could charge above the state regulated limits because we are mobile. We charge a travel fee. So oftentimes, when people are new to this industry and they start hearing about it, they say, wow, I didn't know people could charge that much. And they're shouting, I'm like, yeah, you can. It's totally legal. You could charge these numbers. And what happens a lot of times, people get discouraged. You know why, guys? Because people, they come learn from an expert, then they go talk to non-experts. How often have you guys seen that in your life? People come in, they talk to an expert, someone who knows what they're talking about. Then they try to share the good gospel with some friends and some family members who maybe not know what's going on. And then they just lose all interest. They lose the enthusiasm. Fam, whatever industry you're looking at to, stick with the experts. I have some lovely friends and family members who aren't business minded. So their natural progressive state is to be pessimistic and kind of down. Keep this in mind with your business, please. Okay, so this is a typical fee range that we charge for power of attorneys. There we go. Estate planning tools. So estate planning tools. So it's basically wills, living trusts, joint ownership. Basically these documents that are packaged together oftentimes by attorneys. And what it does is keeping your estate in order. So we charge on a low end $100, higher end $250. So when you start marketing, if an attorney calls you or an individual customer calls you and they say, hey, I have some estate planning documents, it's typically going to be wills, trusts, maybe a healthcare proxy, power of attorney in with those documents. And we charge low end 100, higher end 250, and that's it. So, oh yeah, I want to go back a second. Oftentimes we're actually paid before we even leave the house, which is really cool. I think that's one of the best parts about this industry is being paid before you even are able to leave the house. Sometimes if it's a loan, or most times if it's a loan closing, we'll get paid 7 to 30 days out, which, it is what it is. But if we're meeting with the general public and or a law firm, we're usually paid before we even leave the house, which is really cool. Okay. Next, this is actually my favorite service to offer, is mobile fingerprinting. And I like this one. One, we're paid up front, the high majority of the time. And two, a lot of businesses call us. And a lot of businesses call us to fingerprint multiple employees at one time, which is like really dope. So on the low end, we're gonna charge $100. Right here, this is an example of a fingerprint card. This is one set. So we have left hand, right hand, both hands at the bottom. So this is one set. For one set, low end 100. Me personally, I haven't charged less than 150 or 175 in a while for the first card. Then $25 to $50 per additional card. And the disparity in the pricing here, it leads from this. It leads from oftentimes companies might have 5, 6, 7, 8 employees. So I've had days where I charge $150 per person, and I've had 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10 employees one day. And it was a really good payday. So that's a really cool service to offer. Is this real? Yes, it's real. Here goes the pay stub. So this is one of our students. He sent me a message. He had one of his first clients, and he made $258.97. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Here go one of our pay stubs. This is from, I believe it's from a fingerprinting client. Yep, it's from a fingerprinting client, and this was for $300 for one person, $300 for one person. So that was a win. Each assignment, as well as far as time-wise, so each fingerprint card will probably take about 7 minutes. So let's say that one person has 2 fingerprint cards. We'll probably be there for max 25 minutes to a half an hour max. So if you look at how much the average person gets paid now and how much they can make in this industry, just on a time factor wise, it's amazing. It's amazing what you could do in this short time. Okay. All right, refinance loan closing. So there are a lot of different types of loan closings. I saw in the chat earlier that some of you guys are already real estate investors and agents, and shout out to y'all. So if you're refinancing a property, which is a very, very popular service, we do in-home loan closing. So even for some of you guys who are homeowners, you probably have used a mobile notary to do your in-home or in-office or in Starbucks or in your car loan closing. These in general pay between $85 to $250. So I own what you call a notary signing service, where we get the calls and I farm people out to go do the jobs and I take my cut. So I'm gonna try to get title companies, law firms, escrow companies, abstract companies, and direct lenders like a Chase Bank, a Wells Fargo, et cetera, to give me their business, and I'm gonna charge them $175 to $250. On a low end, $150, right? But usually $175 to $250, I'm gonna go to them and get them to give me top dollar. Then I'm gonna find a lovely notary signing agent out there, and I'm gonna try to pay them between $85 to maybe $125 or $150, so I'm able to keep my profit margin. So of course, you want to try to get your business from title companies and escrow companies and all that good stuff. But when you're first starting out, there's nothing wrong with working for a signing service. And look, each closing will probably take 45 minutes to an hour when you're new. And when you're seasoned, 20 minutes to a half an hour. If the loan officer did their job, then your job when you show up is pretty simple. It's to collect signatures. We act as impartial witnesses. We are not there to give legal advice. So our job is to go over the documents, have the client sign where they're supposed to sign, we sign what we're supposed to sign, and stamp what we're supposed to stamp, and when we send the documents back to the institution. We sometimes have to scan documents back as well, but we usually have to FedEx the documents back or UPS the documents back to the client. Once you're seasoned, probably take about 20 minutes to perform. Loan closings, they are not my favorite service. They're not. Here's why. One, you have to wait to get paid. I want to get paid up front, man. That's how I roll. I like to get paid up front. And two, you have to print documents a lot of times. The industry name is called eDocs. That's where the client emails you the documents, you print them out, and then you go about your way. Now, sometimes the document's coming late. So let's say I have an appointment tomorrow at 12 p.m. Ideally, I would have had the documents Thursday or Friday, or even sometimes I work a weekend, Saturday. But sometimes the documents might be emailed to me at 11 a.m. for a 12 o'clock closing. Now, it'll probably take me about 20 minutes to print out the documents, or 15 because I have a pretty fast printer. It will be about 100 to 200 pages, and then I go out and I do what I do. But if I have other clients, it might interfere with my day. So closings are great. They're very, very profitable. But because of those two reasons, they aren't my favorite service currently. That is not to discourage you from going, but I want to give you guys some real game to prepare you guys to see what services you guys want to focus on. Cool. Am I still good with the slides and stuff, guys? My screen's good?
Yes, you're good. We can see you and hear you.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. So frequently asked questions. How much do supplies cost? $200 to $500. So this is another reason why I started. So I was making $15 an hour as a teacher's aide in my early 20s. It was probably one of the best jobs out there that you can get without having a college degree. $15 an hour. Then I got bumped up a little bit. I got probably making like $30,000 or so a year. Yeah, $30,000 or so a year. And I was able to, have benefits and all that good stuff. So cool, right? Cool. In my early 20s, I had a salary job, benefits, paid time off, and I was on the teacher schedule. Cool. So, but $30,000, even in your early 20s, isn't that much living in New York. And I was able to sneak away and stash my bread. I was able to buy a place at 22. So I didn't have a lot of excess money. This business was very intriguing because I literally needed $200 to $500 to start. $200 to $500 to start this business. What does that entail? Laser printer. You can get a Brother laser printer. Notary stamp, usually $25 to $60, depending on how nice stamp you want. You have to get licensed by your state you're in, between $40 to $120. You're gonna have to get your notary commission. After you pass your test, if there's a test in your state, that's gonna be another $40 to $100. You're gonna need some pens, and if you already have a car, which you probably need a car in most states you're in, or in most cities, unless you're in like a New York City, or maybe even, yeah, you're probably like in New York City, maybe in Miami, or a place like that has decent public transportation. You're in. A printer, notary stamp, notary commission, some pens, some toner, and some printing paper, and you're in the game. So it was a very, very low startup cost, and that was very intriguing to me. I mean, how much does it cost to go start a franchise? $500,000. So yeah. Don't banks have notaries? People ask me this all the time, and I have to explain this to them all the time after I already said it. Yes. Why do people pay us? For convenience. Okay, so please keep this in mind when you're going about your business. People pay for convenience. Everybody is not your client. Everybody is not your customer. People who are looking to go find a notary, who are looking to spend between $2 and $20, that's probably not your customer. You want someone who knows what you do, who is looking for you to show up, do what you do, and to get out of there, right? People pay for convenience. Notaries do have, most banks do have notaries. And another thing that a lot of people don't know is most banks don't notarize everything. Most banks will not notarize your loan documents most times. Most banks will not notarize your wills or power of attorneys. And I actually want to ask you guys a question. You can come in the chat. Why do you think the reason is that most banks don't want that? Won't do that for you? Because they don't want to be liable. A will is a serious document, guys. A power of attorney is a serious document. They don't want to be liable for because a date was off or document was frozen late. They say, no, sorry, we can't do this. That's where we come in. Please keep this in mind, and I'm going to drill this in because people, they come, they learn, then they get discouraged because they talk to people who don't know. Learn from the experts. Can I do this business part-time? Yes. I did it part-time when I started, and I was doing so good I left the job. You could do it part-time or full-time, it's totally up to you. We had a student come in, my man, Dr. Dr. T. He's in the Bay Area of California. He does a part-time. He makes on average $1,400 a month. Not bad for part-time, right? $1,400 a month. His average appointment is like around $60 to $80 or so. And just throw this out there. I know you guys have a lot of couples who are watching this video. A lot of people get divorced for money reasons. And that money reason isn't a lot. It's like $300 to $500 a month. A lot of couples will stay together if they had an extra $300 to $500 a month coming into the household. So just throwing these numbers out there, keep this stuff in mind. Part-time works fine too. Full-time totally works fine too. We've had students who do both. Some people, this is just side money for them. Some people, this is their main and only source of income. So it's possible. Oh yeah, and for people who I know who do it full-time, who also take it seriously, who went through our course, they're typically around $3,000 to like a higher end, maybe $7,000 a month on average. Can I do this in my city and state? Yes, you can. How can I say that without knowing where you live? Because it works in every city and state. That's how I could say this. But on a pro and con level, if you're in a higher income area, you'll be able to charge more money, of course, right? A lower income area, you have to charge less money, but it will still be profitable in any city, in any state. And some cities and states, and in some cities, certain services might be more popular than others, but you can be very profitable with this business no matter where you're located. If I have a criminal record, can I get involved in this? So I do a lot of work with brothers and sisters who have been behind the walls. It's a passion project that I'm part of. So yes, you can still get involved with an asterisk. So sometimes, depending on what the crime is and how long ago it was, you might not be able to get your notary public license. I would still like you to try to apply. You might have to get some letters of recommendation or some good conduct letters. I would still like you to apply, but you might get denied. I have seen people get approved. Now, if you are denied, how can you still be involved in this business? You become the middleman or the middlewoman. There you go. You have people who are licensed go out and work for you. And if we're being honest, a lot of people who might have who might have a record, they usually have good people skills because you have to have a certain kind of mind, a certain kind of skill sets to get some things done. And they probably have some work moving every now and then, and they got caught up, right? But they have the skills to get something from one person, break this down, and to sell it. It's just a different skill set you need for business, and especially this business. You get your phone to ring, you charge the client $200, you get somebody else to go do the job for $100. Nobody knows who you are. You're the middle person. Cool, everyone got that? Do I need a car? Most likely, depending on where you are, you most likely will need a car. Hey, look, if you don't have a car, and you're on your grind, I would just split the money with a cousin or a friend who's reliable and say, hey, look, man, I got this thing cooking. My phone's ringing. I need you to rock out with me. Cool? Am I making sense? Let me know if I'm not making sense. Okay, so another one of the services that's popular in certain cities it's very, very popular, is apostille processing. So this is when you're certifying a document for a foreign country. So a quick, simple Brother Dre example. I graduated from Hampton University, Hampton, Virginia, right? Yeah, Hampton University, Virginia. I got a job in the country of Mexico. My job was my diploma and my college transcript apostilled. The person who needs that work done would call us. We would go out there, meet with them, process the documents with the county clerk's office and the Department of State's office, and then either give the documents directly to the client or mail them to the institution. So we're basically getting paid to take some signatures and to do a lot of, well, not even a ton of running around. It could be 1 to 3 stops running around, and it pays really well. So on a low end, I charge $225 for the first document. then 50 per additional document, and I'm always paid up front. And sometimes companies need us and they'll call us for same day service, and that price goes way up for same day service. So think of it like a high-end courier service. It's popular in cities where there are a lot of foreigners. So Los Angeles, Miami, the Bay Area, Chicago, DC, Atlanta, New York, Connecticut, and a few other ones, Texas, Austin, Dallas, all those states. So New Jersey, certain states is more popular than others, but it pays really, really well. And if you're the middleman or middlewoman, then it's all good with you. All you have to do is market in those popular regions and have that thing going. Okay, who is this for? People who want to be their own boss. That's number one. Whether full-time or part-time, that's you. People who want a side business. There are people who are watching this who literally just need a few $100 a week coming in, or maybe like a couple $1,000s a month coming in. Totally cool. This could work with you if you work it. People who want a lucrative full-time business. Like I said a little while ago, for people who are doing it full-time, who have taken our course, typically $3,000 on a low end, we've had a couple of students hit $10,000 a couple of times. It's not on average, but yeah, we've had a couple of students hit $10,000 a couple of times. So between $3,000 to $7,000 a month, it's not bad for a $500 startup cost business. People who can keep things simple. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this again. If you can't do that, you're gonna lose. It just will not work. People who want to make between $60 and $250 per appointment. That is the typical pay wages per appointment. And on average, you're usually going to be there for between, on a low end, 5 to 10 minutes, higher end an hour. So not bad, not bad. Okay. So how can you earn $500 a day being the middle person? You build a notary signing service. So there are some people who are going to be self-employed the whole time. That's great. There are some people who are going to be the middle person the whole time, or for most of the time. That's great too. And there are some people who will do a little bit of both. That's the win. So here goes a quick breakdown on how you can earn $500 as a middle person a day. So you get the client, you charge them $200, then you subcontract a notary to do the job for $100. You do 5 of these a day. So when you own a notary signing service, where is your coverage area? You know that answer, Dick? Where is your coverage area? Or where are you limited to? If you own your own notary signing service, where are you limited to? Is it the state where you're licensed? It's the entire country. The entire country is your potential client base. You aren't limited to where you are licensed. Now, I can only notarize documents in a couple of states where I have my personal license. I cannot cross the border. That is against the law. Do not break the law, good people, right? But me being a company, I can land a client anywhere in the country, find someone to do the job for less. Again, a lot like real estate wholesaling, and I could win. So you are not limited. Now, you can still do this $500 a day number, even if you just focus on one region, on the Northeast, on New York, on Florida, on Georgia, because there's a lot of business flowing. There are a lot of people who need this service. Even if you might not need it for yourself, a lot of people need it. And even though it's become more popular, I think it's because of us. It's become more popular, to be honest with you. It's still in high demand. I haven't had a student who kept it simple, who followed through on what we taught them, who wasn't able to make money. I haven't seen it. So you guys keep that in mind. I think I'm out of time. I think we're going to do questions, guys.
Yeah, if you still got more, you can keep going.
Okay, cool. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna, in the meantime, we could take a couple of questions and I'm gonna work on pulling out my power of attorney. I'm gonna try to do it even though the computer's going a little slow. So let me give that a try. Before I do that, I'll make you guys the host again, just to play it safe.
And Andre, I just wanted to jump in. We didn't really, we realized the need for notary services once we got into the real estate business.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're closing all these deals, and every deal we need a notary.
Yeah.
And, typically we use our bank, we go into our bank and, we get it done, but we travel a lot. So whenever we travel, we need a mobile notary. And I can't tell you how hard it is sometimes finding one. And we'll pay $200-300 just to get a document notarized to close a real estate deal. But we're going to make thousands.
Bingo right there. You guys said it. If you're going to make thousands, what's your cheapest wholesale margin? $5,000, $10,000 on a wholesale? Oh.
Yeah, we're making 15, 20 grand on a wholesale deal. I'll pay $300.
You're fine with paying someone to come and on an hour's notice or same day service that money because you're making more money. And a lot of times entrepreneurship might be new for a lot of us, and we don't see people who are making $100,000 a month or $20,000, $30,000 a month, and it's kind of hard for us to fathom why would I pay somebody that? That is why. That is why, because you're going to make more money with what the service brings you. I've done closings for people who have literally cashed out of their home $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 on a refinance or a line of credit, and they're like, "Yeah, man, I'll pay you. Here you go. You want a credit card or what?"
They don't blink at it.
They don't blink at it. So, okay, here goes my power of attorney here. So, has anyone seen this document before? This is one of the probably like the most popular documents that you'll get calls for: power of attorney, wills, and
we can't see it. We still see the slide that says.
Okay. All right. I'm going to pull that up. Okay. Cool. Okay. There we go. How about now?
There it goes.
There we go. Okay, cool. So, principal, me, agent, my sister, Charlene, I am giving her consent to make decisions on my behalf when I'm not there. So this is a New York one, but they're all have similar language. Okay, so I reside at, so we're gonna go with Andre Hatchett, reside at 11 Main Street, gonna go with Bronx, New York, hereby appoint C. Hatchett of 12 Main Street. Oh, another thing. Your client will have these documents with them. Sometimes they might ask you to bring a copy. I don't like to do that because whoever they're giving this document to, their lawyer, their banker, whatever, they might want a different kind of power of attorney. So I don't want to be liable for giving you the wrong one and I have to give you a refund and do it again. I like for them to have their own copy. If they insist, I say, I have a general power of attorney which we can use, but I cannot ensure whoever you bring the document to will give this document the okay. So if they ask me more than once, I say, I can bring one, but I can't give any guarantee past that I did the right thing with your document. Okay, cool. All right, 11 Main Street as my agent. As my agent. All right, to exercise the powers and directions described below. All right, we're gonna skip that stuff. Okay, signature page follows. Okay, so we're gonna date this here, 5/31/19. Okay. New York. Bronx. On this 31st day of May 2020. Okay. Before me personally came blank to be known as the person described in the foregoing power of attorney, and he/she, they acknowledge that he/they, they executed the same. Right? This is called an acknowledgement. So this is where we are going to do our part. So I'm issuing. No, I'm sorry. The notary is issuing that the person who came before us is who they say they are, because we always check their ID. Now, question: what if the ID is expired? You don't notarize the document. What you want to do over the phone actually is ask them, is everybody who, this is actually really important, is everyone who signed the document awake and coherent? That's number one. And do they all have a valid ID? Sometimes, not all the time, once in a while, people will try to get slick with you. They'll say, oh, especially if they're in a hospital. We get a lot of hospital calls and nursing home calls. They're probably like up there amongst the most popular, because people can't leave. And they'll say, yeah, well, she was in a coma. She talks sometimes. Okay, I need someone who's awake and coherent in front of me. I cannot take that kind of chance on my license and risk jail time. So you can ask them.
They can't do that. They're trying to get you to have grandma sign over a house.
Yo, people have done that. People have done that, because a lot of times they might be like in a feud with their family members, and like, yeah, she's sick now. Now I'm going to change the will. Ha! I got you, bad sibling. Fam, avoid those situations. Again, it will not happen a lot. I just want to pair you. Here's the crazy thing, right? A lot of times people who try to do this fancy stuff, there'll be someone who knows you, and they'll try to pull it over. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. So acknowledgement filled out. Witness. This one is requiring a witness. So the witness, sometimes it could be us as a notary. We could be one of the witnesses, but it always has to be somebody not involved in the document. So if it's a will, it can't be someone who's named in the will as an heir. If it's a power of attorney, it can't be the agent or the principal. It has to be an outside party, a neighbor. If a client asks me to bring one, I can bring one, but it will cost them an extra $50. Sign here, notary stamp here. There you go. City, state, put NY. Okay. All right, we'll keep it pushing.
Can you talk about some of the marketing and how people actually find clients?
Yeah. So here's what I do, right? I do my best, and I'll close the screen for now. Let me come back to the camera if that's working. Okay. So what I try to get people to do is to get people to contact you first. So my marketing system, it goes like this. There is some cold calling involved to some companies, but I try to position it to where people who are looking for what I need call me. And I'm going to type in some sites here. You have to be over 18 to be a licensed notary public. You have to be 18 years or over. Some states 21. It's only a few. Most of them 18. Okay, so here go the sites, guys, I want you to advertise on if you guys want to get to this business. 123notary.com. Notary Cafe.
Make sure you guys are taking these sites down.
Notarycafe.com. Notary, ROTARY.com. Okay, so they have some free options and mostly paid options. These three sites, in my experience, it's worth paying to advertise on. Okay. Any other questions that I mentioned? We could do the questions now if you
Yeah.
have.
Yeah,
So start. That's where it started, right there.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and start plow through some of these questions.
I get so pumped up I just keep going sometimes.
This is an awesome information, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing it.
No doubt.
So the first one, someone said, "What about virtually? Any options?"
So yeah, a couple of states, Texas, and there's another one or two which does allow a virtual option, but it has become that widespread. Yeah, with COVID, New York opened it up as well. During the crisis, I highly doubt they're going to keep it going because New York is a highly regulated state. They make everything hard. It's actually one of the few states that requires a test to become a notary public in the country. So it's there, but it's not that popular yet.
Okay. Lucretia asks, she likes mobile fingerprinting because she used that for people who run concealed carry classes.
Oh, there you go.
So that's a yes?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is special training needed for fingerprinting?
Not in most states. No, California has a special training, and I believe that's it. Just California special training. You have to be licensed notary public to perform them, but most states do not have any special training.
Awesome. Brianna lives in a very rural community. Does this business vary by location? How would she be successful in a rural community?
Yeah. So someone in your area is going to need you. If there's less people, there's less opportunity to make money, of course. Same marketing applies. You have to determine how far you want to drive, right? So there's a certain point where I'll drive for $100 or $200, certain time lapse. For you, it might be you have to go 2.5 hours to make a certain amount of money. It's totally your call, but someone's going to need your service. And again, if you find that you are getting the volume you want in your area, be the middle person.
Yep. I love that concept. Be the middle person. So farm out the work.
This is one of the few businesses that I've seen where you can eat some form of fashion.
Right. Larome asks, how long does it take to become an official notary in California, considering COVID-19?
So I don't know if they're opening up the testing locations. I believe they have them once a month in most locations. So I'll say non-COVID-19, if there's a test once a month, let's say the test in 2 weeks, you should have the results back 2 weeks after that. So let's call that 4 weeks for you to have your results back in. Then you can get your notary commission and go get a stamp. Let's say 45 weeks on average. With the COVID, I'm not sure because I don't know how often they're giving tests or if they move to online testing. So I can't give you a firm answer on that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, another beautiful thing is the startup cost. $500. I mean, I know we've bought franchises before. We've spent over 6 figures buying and investing in different businesses. So, I mean, anybody can get $500, even if you don't have it right now. You can find $500.
And you don't need it all at one time. They're gonna go bare bones, right? You need pens, commission, stamp, and a car. Let's say that you do like a power of attorney first or a will first. There's no printing involved with that. You take that income and go buy your laser printer and your paper. There's a way to make money.
There's a will, there's a way.
Right.
Literally.
Lisa asked, do you need to purchase general liability insurance?
And E&O insurance.
Yeah, so it's not required in most states and in most cases, but I always advise to have it. You can get $140,000, I believe, for between $70 to $150 a year. Yeah, so yeah. So it's cheap. It's cheap. I would get it. If you want to go lower than that, you can go lower than that. But even if it's not required, I would still have it. Because here goes an example. If you're doing a loan closing and you get a certified check from a buyer or a seller, and you have to go deliver that at the title company, let's say that you lose it, or maybe they lost it, but they're probably going to blame you. They might try to sue you. If you have coverage, the insurance company will pay for it if their deal got messed up or if somebody got the cash and cashed it, you would be covered because of that insurance. So I always advise to get that.
Awesome. So Larome asks, is your course cheaper than going through the NNA in California?
So I don't know what the NNA, all right, I say this humbly, right? I don't know anyone who's doing what we're doing. I don't know anyone who's doing it. And that's not based on my personal opinion of myself. It's based upon the results that we have given. When people take the course, they follow the rules, they make money. So we're doing something, I'm sure that they're not. I don't even know their price. We're so cool, I don't even know what's going on out there, to be honest, man. I just don't know, because every week I'm getting an email or a message saying I made money. So I don't know what they're doing. And look, if you think it sucks, I'll give you your money back. Just say, email me, say this isn't good, I'll give you money. So there's no loss. And I like to have people who feel good about spending money with me and with us. So it's like, hey, say work, get your money back. I just know it's so cold because we have some people who are winning. I had a guy who took our class 3 weeks ago. He hit me up on Twitter, said he made $50 or $75 in 10 minutes. Andre, it's a win. So that's what I got.
It's a no-brainer. It's a recession-proof business. It's low startup costs.
Yeah.
Someone asked, can a teenager do it? Like, what's the age that someone can start doing it?
You have to be over 18 in most states, and a couple, I don't know what offhand, is 21.
Okay.
If you're in an attorney state, can you still be a part of closings as a notary?
Great question. No. So Georgia and South Carolina, notaries cannot legally perform loan closings. You have to be an attorney. You can still own the company and farm out attorneys, though. I think some people still do it anyway. Some notaries still do it anyway. I wouldn't advise it, and I don't tell people to do it. I tell them not to do it because it's against the law. But yeah, that's the deal.
Someone said, what sites do we advertise on for mobile fingerprinting jobs?
You could do those same sites. You could do the same sites that I mentioned, and you can add in Yelp in there too.
Okay, perfect.
Is the marketing you use to find clients the same for finding notaries when running the business as a middleman?
Usually, yeah. On my website, I have a portal where notaries will give me their information, and I'll add them to my database. So, because I've been around for so long, and I always pay people who I subcontract well and on time, so I have a reputation. So people who hit us up and ask us for work. So.
So you got a good name. You paying people on time. They
always want to keep your name good, man. Any business, life, I tell you, man, because if your name is good, you attract people like y'all. I'm able to hook up with people like y'all who are dumb cool, make good videos, and now we're cool, right? So you always want to keep your name good no matter what you're doing in life.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Alan said, how or where do you find other notaries to do jobs for you in other regions?
You could use those same sites, the 123notary.com, the Notary Cafe, and the Notary Rotary. You can start with those.
Nicole said, I'm already a notary. Are the websites you provided the best way to advertise as a mobile service provider?
Yes.
So with those 3 websites, they don't need anything else. They can literally.
You can do other stuff. You could build out your own website. You could pay for search engine optimization. There are other ways to do it, but those 3 are a great start.
Okay.
So Steph asks, how do you develop the platform to hire notaries?
You build you need your own personal website. You got to get a nice logo. I would advise to have a business email address. So let's say that your company, so mine is called Prior Notary Inc. So I have and on my logo it says Nationwide Notary Service. So you want to give the allure that you are a big company and you can handle business in whatever region you're in if you're going there.
So it's not like Andre signs your docs at Gmail.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that because people don't know you. Most people aren't going to know you. So they're going to hire you based upon your web presence and how well you answer the phone. So you want to have a cold personal website. You want to have a great logo, an 800 number or 866 number. It's not mandatory, but it will help. But definitely you want to have a business email address. If anyone doesn't know what that is, that ends in a .com, .net, or .org.
Yeah. And guys, those things aren't that expensive. You can get a Gmail email address for like $30 a month. You can get a logo from Fiverr.com for like $100.
No, he said it needs to end in the .com, .net, so not
Yeah,
Gmail.
I mean, you get a G Suite.
Yeah,
G Suite, that's what I use.
Yep.
Yeah.
Denise said, please expand. What are you doing differently from other agencies?
Yeah, how do you stand out? There's 100,000 notaries out there. How do you stand out from the other notaries?
Get reviews. You want to get reviews. So on the platforms that I mentioned, there's a section where past clients can leave your reviews. You want to have a great bio. You want a great bio. So if you aren't a great writer, I'm not a great writer. I'll hire somebody from Fiverr or someone I know to write my bio for me to give you that allure that I know what I'm doing. You want to follow up. So here, it's not always about getting a bunch of clients because a lot of times, especially with the fingerprinting, I found apostille and loan closings especially, they have multiple clients in certain regions. So having a client call you, doing a great job and locking them down, and you guys know this with home sellers, it's better to do business with the same person a bunch of times than it is to go out there and find a new client. So a lot of people will reuse you if you do a good job and if you stay fresh on their brain. So I send people gifts, I send people pens, mugs. I go above and beyond with who I have in front of me, and that has helped me actually in every business that I've ever had. It's actually helped me build a great rapport with who's in front of me. And it's cheaper that way too.
Awesome. So Lorraine had a question. How do you scale? If somebody wants to do this full time, they want to make that $3,000 to $7,000 a month. How do they get to that level?
So it depends on the person. Some people is going to be spend more money in advertising. They're doing everything right. Some people need a course or some coaching where they're being held accountable. Some people need a better logo. Some people need to figure out what their niche is. You do not have to do every service. So that's important. You do not have to do every service to be successful. Some people are doing too many services or have too many businesses and they're actually not making any money. So for different people, it's different things. If I have to generalize, I would say follow up with your existing clients, work on your web presence. I have a customized commercial for my notary company, and those things have helped me in a general sense, but for certain people, it might be something totally different that they need for them to be successful. That's where I advise people to pay an expert to help you figure out what you need as an individual to help you take it to the top.
So how do you accept payment? Is it PayPal? Somebody put PayPal, Clover, Cash. How do you accept payments for your jobs? So
if I'm middlemaning out the job, I always get paid up front because I don't want people to know what I get paid. So if someone else doing the job for me, it's just not good business to let people know what you're getting paid up front, right? So I'll get paid up front on the phone. I'll open up my phone. I have the PayPal Here app. I'll type in the credit card information over the phone, hit them with a receipt, payment's done. Some clients want to pay me at the time of the appointment at their house. I don't even do that anymore, to be honest with you. I only get paid up front nowadays. If I have the option to, I always try to get paid up front. If it's a closing, I have to wait. But the PayPal Here app works fine for me. If they don't want to give me their information, I will send them an invoice via PayPal or is it a Square? Yeah, PayPal or Square. And then they don't have to give me their information personally. I send them the invoice, they pay it, and the job is done. Awesome.
Andre, how do you develop relationship with the title companies? I'm sure they have notaries hitting them up. Hey, I want your business. When you have a notary call, will you choose me? How do you stand out and develop those relationships?
You call them and tell them who you are and what you do. That's a great way to do it. And I know some people actually go to their offices. Now it might not be the best time with everything going on. Some people go to their offices and email them. Tell them who you are, what you do, and your coverage areas, and ask them to get on their roster. That's a great way to put it. Hi, my name is Andre Hatchett. I cover the Brooklyn and Queens areas of New York. I've done over 500 loan closings. I would love to be part of your roster. Please let me know how to go about doing that.
Like it. That's
so Nadia had asked, if you're hiring individuals from out of state, do you pay them after they complete the notary job? And how do you get people on board and have them do services for you if they don't know you?
You look good. You
Right.
look good online. You look good online. So
Yeah.
I probably have like, I don't know, 20 websites. Between websites, landing pages. All of them aren't 10s, but there are at least 7s. There are at least 7s. You'll go there, you'll say, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. So that's one of the best ways, I tell you. Invest the money. If you have it on the front end, great. If you got to work up your way towards it, that's great too. But look the part, look like you're a company that's reputable, and it's a lot easier to get people to pay you.
Absolutely. In your course, do you recommend sites on where they can have people, create websites and landing pages to brand them?
Mm-hmm. If you're in our course, we give you our personal developers we used, our email marketing people, our copywriting people, our logo people. There's not much you're going to need after you take the course.
It's a business in a box. And again, it's very simple. Don't complicate it. Like you said.
No, don't do it.
You put in the input, you get out the output.
So Steph asks, what's the best way to go about establishing your fees? This is a good question. For the state of Florida as a notary and loan signing agent. So how do you know what to charge people? So
you could do a couple of things. You could state the fees you want to charge, which I would say anywhere from $150 on up. Let's do $150 to $200, depending on how far you want to travel. And if they go down to 80 or 90 or 100, you can decide what works for you. I would say start off at 150 though, and allow them to negotiate it down. So here's one thing that I also do. I don't compete for the bottom price-wise. I compete for the best service. So like if someone's looking to save 20 bucks or 30 bucks, right. I don't know if I'm really their guy, but I'm gonna answer the phone better than other people. I'm gonna have a better website. I'm gonna respond back faster via email inquiries. I've had people who tell me all the time, actually, you aren't the cheapest, but you answered your phone. If you call my phone, it sounds like a business. So I actually have people who might call me and say, I didn't want to leave a message. I didn't know if it was your office. So that's how good my voicemail sounds. So if you do these things, it helps you get top dollar. If you want to be the cheapest around, go for it and knock yourself out. I haven't seen too much value in that personally. So that's my approach.
All right, Andre, I'm sure everybody's waiting. Tell us about the course, what they get in it, the price.
Yeah. So thank you guys for that. So we've been around for a while, man. We've been around since 2015. We've had thousands of students. We have over 93% or so success rate. And here's the thing about the success rate. Not everybody follows through with it. So some people say, yeah, this is cool, but it's not really my thing. Even those people are usually happy that they took it because they learned something that helped them in life or another business, and they were just happy with the content. So we have a couple of different options. One is our all-inclusive package. That's every class we have. Every class we have, and it's lifetime access. That's around $1,250. It's usually $5,000, but because it's y'all and we cool, I'm giving them a break. So the link is in there for that. If you just want to get started, you just want to test it out, try our self-employed course. That's usually $500. That's usually $500, but because again, we cool, it's going to be $200, and that will get you your phone ringing, and you'll be out there making money if you follow steps, usually within 45 days. I know with everything going on, it might take longer to get your license, but once everything is open, you're going to start making money. So that is our self-employed course. That's $200. Both of these options give you lifetime access to the client, and there you are. And if you don't like it, say, I don't like it, give your money back. And
the first one was, what was the name of the first one?
That's the all-inclusive package. That's everything. The apostilling course, fingerprinting, the middleman or middlewoman, self-employed. Oh yeah, and we have a monthly group coaching program where we have like an accountability session for a year. So you get all that for a year. That's usually $1,000 on its own.
That's awesome, guys. we really appreciate you coming on, Andre, and dropping this knowledge. This is a real business. You got real results to yourself. You got thousands of students. So yeah, we definitely appreciate this.
Thank you, man.
Right on time, because I had planned on signing up, like I told you before, planned on signing up my entire staff.
Sweet.
To take the test to become mobile notaries. And I had no idea it was so much to mobile notary. I'm just thinking it's just one thing, but the one that we use to come sign our loan documents.
There's a lot to it.
I had no idea. It's so many different.
The fingerprinting.
Right, like that blew my mind.
A lot of ways to make money, guys. A lot of ways to make money. And what you guys videos are cold, man. I told Dee a few months ago, you guys videos are nuts. I like how you guys roll.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Any last questions? Oh, Larome said, is there a one-time fee for your course, or can you make payments? I think he answered that one.
For these options, it's a one-time fee. For these options, here's a one-time fee. If you pay full price, there are payment options. But for these prices, it's a one-time fee. So $200 for the entry-level self-employed, I think it's $1245 for the all-inclusive. So that's the price.
So the links are in the chat box, guys. Anyone interested in taking advantage of it, we highly recommend it. It's a bit.ly link right in the chat log. So yeah.
And if you go to our Instagram page, you guys can see the reviews from past students, and our Facebook page. And we stand by what we do. We get a lot of great feedback.
Lisa said, what's included in the self-employed course again?
Every business strategy you need to start making money. So it's 9 lectures, slides, call scripts, marketing, advertising, everything you need to get the job done. And our preferred people who we use to build our websites, do our logos. It's everything you need.
And one of the things I like about this is just like our preservation business, our property preservation business. Whenever we start a new business, I literally just take what we're currently doing in our real estate business, and I apply that almost the same marketing to the additional businesses.
Yep.
So when I think of like the mobile notary business, I think of when, say, hey, how can I get my name out there? A lot of you guys, if you're already in real estate or business such as that, think of the ways that you're marketing your real estate business and apply some of those same tactics to finding your customer with the mobile notary business. So the same way I advertise for houses, for our real estate business, I do the same thing for our property preservation. I'm sending flyers out to absentee landlords, vacant properties, absentee landlords. Hey, they need their properties cut too. The properties are vacant. So I try to look at it. So I would look at the mobile notary business and be like, now what's a different way, a way that I can apply the same marketing tactics and techniques to finding individuals? Who is someone that I know? I would go to every single, I would send either a flyer or a brochure to every single attorney's office, local attorney's office, email, phone call. And it's even sites where you can get all of that information. I would literally start, same thing I did with our businesses.
And like how we said, add me to your roster.
Yeah.
I know you use other mobile notaries. You may have 10 of them, and 8 of them may not pick up the phone when you call. Because I know when we're traveling and we're looking for a notary, the hardest is getting someone to call you back.
It is really hard.
We're in St. Louis trying to close a deal where we're going to make like 50 grand. And it's a weekend. We couldn't find a notary to pick up the phone and call us back. Life.
We've been in Charlotte. We've been in multiple states out there trying to find mobile notaries.
A lot of business out there.
Last minute, and it's having the hardest time finding a mobile notary. So, and right now, that's what's working. Like, we were able to stay afloat. We do a lot. We don't really ever go to our closing attorney, so all of our stuff is virtual. But we do so many deals out of state. That's what's really, the mobile notaries are like,
they bring the docs to our office.
They are staying busy right now, staying busy, especially with all the governmental businesses being closed.
Totally.
They're still allowing us to do transactions, but they're just being done differently. So this is like a really great time to get into it.
Totally agree.
Let me just check real quick and see. I think there was.
Any final questions? Yes, we're going to post a recording to this video on our Copreneur group and our various social media channels, so you have a chance to go back through it. And then hopefully we'll bring Mr. Hatchett back on in the future to talk about some other stuff he has going on. But we appreciate everybody's time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Andre. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. It was a pleasure. I love everything you guys are doing. Happy we could connect, and let's do in the future. And everyone who watched this, shout out to y'all. I appreciate you guys watching. Take some action on something, whether this is business, real estate, take some kind of action. Entrepreneurship is a must on some kind of level. So
there's one more question for you, Andre. Somebody said, is there equipment to purchase for the fingerprinting course?
Yeah, there is. It's in the course.
Okay. Oh, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
When someone purchases the course, is there some type of, say, customer service? I think you said maybe a private Facebook group or something.
Yeah.
We'll have to, if we
have a Slack group. So after they enroll, we put them in our Slack group.
Okay. Perfect.
Well, get questions answered and all that stuff.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you guys for joining us. Oh, did you drop the link for the course? Somebody said need the link for the course.
I did. I will do it again.
And we'll put it
under the video description when we put the replay up as well.
All right, that is the self-employed one. That one is for $200 that I just put in there now. And I'm going to redo the all-inclusive package. Okay, copy. And anyone come to learn on a Sunday has my vote, man. You guys are on it, man. I respect it. I respect it.
Right. Somebody said, how long does it take to complete them?
So it's all up to you. You could go through everything in a weekend, or you could go through everything in a year. It's totally up to you. I think most people probably finish in the course series, finish up in around 2 to 4 weeks. 4 weeks, but it's totally up to you. Everything is there. Everything is there you need.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Andre. We'll let you get back to your Sunday.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Have a great one.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks.
Peace.